All right, so just having a little bit of fun today. Something different. I'm going to go through and I'm going to rank all of the Star Trek franchise in a tier list here. Your standard superior A, B, C, and F rankings here. Um, let's go ahead and jump right in. And before I, get too far into this, I just want to mention that this is every Star Trek franchise. Period. Um, there's nothing that I consider Star Trek which is not on this list. So leaving that there. Let's start with the beginning of it all. The original series. So this is it was fun. It was the '60s. It was campy. It introduced a lot of great ideas. It had a lot of great concepts to it, and a lot of great stories and plot lines. The third season was kind of crap. The budget went down. It turned into kind of a monster of the week kind of thing. But overall, I give it an A. It's the beginning. It established the franchise. It made Star Trek what it is. So let's go into the movies here. The motion picture. So yeah, the original motion picture when it first came out in the theaters was pretty bad, and it wasn't edited well. The special effects were horrible. But if you go back and you look at the rework that they've done on it, they've re-edited it. They've added some stuff. They redid the special effects. It's just a much better movie now, and it's really I think very underrated as far as the movies go because it's very much the ideal of what Star Trek should be. It should be about hope. It should be um, about great science fiction. I think that the original motion picture really set into that. So I'm going to give that an A. Wrath of Khan. This is by far the best of the movies. It's obviously superior. It is very well written, very well edited. The music is fantastic. The special effects were amazing. Even today, the special effects hold up amazingly well for what it is, and the acting was tremendous. It was a really great movie. Star Trek Three: The Search for Spock. So this one is a pretty good movie. It had a lot of great thought to it, a lot of great dialogue. The acting, directing was great. It was well put together. Definitely a solid A movie. Voyage Home. It was, it's a good solid movie. Not great, nothing spectacular. I'm gonna give it a B. Save the whales, and it actually contributed a lot to changing the world attitudes about whaling, and it did a lot of good, and it brought about a lot of change, and even with all that, it was a great movie. The Final Frontier 5, I was just horrible. Really bad movie, bad directing, bad editing, bad special effects. It just was not well done. It's definitely an F movie. It's Shatner was not ready for the director's chair. He didn't have enough experience. He should have started on some smaller stuff and built it up and figured out how to do the whole directing thing because he just didn't do a good job. And they should not have handed the franchise to him. Six, The Undiscovered Country, another fantastic movie. I mean, Klingons quoting Shakespeare. How can you beat that? That was just a really tremendous movie. I give it an A. Not quite superior level, but it is pretty close. It's a really great movie. Has a lot of great stuff to it. Great battle scenes, a lot of tension, a lot of great dialogue. It's just a great movie. Generations, that's just it's bad. It's not a great movie. I mean, the only redeeming thing about it is they kill off Shatner. So for that alone, I'll give it a C. But it was not a good movie, and it's one you could definitely pass on if you haven't ever watched Star Trek. Insurrection, that was even worse. It's definitely an F movie. It's just terrible, terrible movie. Um, just nothing redeeming about Insurrection from beginning to end. The whole story, the plot line, the acting, the dialogue, the editing. It's just bad, bad movie. First Contact. This one is an amazing movie. And I kind of struggle back and forth between whether or not give this a superior or an A rating. I'm going to go ahead and put it in superior because it's just that little hair better than like Undiscovered Country and Search for Spock. It is an absolutely fantastic movie, especially the whole subplot with Data struggling with his humanity, quote unquote. It's just really well done. It just does some great stuff. Nemesis, this is it's a mid-tier movie. I give it a C. It's not great. There's a few great moments to, or not even great moments, but a few good moments to it. But overall, it's just not a great movie. There's a lot to be desired with Nemesis. Galaxy Quest. Yeah, it doesn't have the Star Trek name on it, but it's as much a Star Trek movie as pretty much any movie out there. It's a lot of fun. It's enjoyable. It's at the very heart of what Star Trek really should be. I'll give it a B. I mean, the downside is one, it's Tim Allen. I can't stand Tim Allen. Just not a great actor, not a great human being, uh, and it really affects kind of my opinion of the movie. But aside from that, everything else about this movie is fantastic, and it's one. If you haven't watched Galaxy Quest, you've got to go do it. You got to see that movie. So jumping back into the TV series stuff. So the animated series. So a lot of people have never seen this. I mean, if you go back and look, it's got the original cast and it's got a lot of great storylines to it. It's something that they did in between the original series and the motion picture. So timeline wise, it sits right here. Um, it has a lot of great stories to it, a lot of great plot, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So if you ever get a chance, go back and watch the animated series. So it's a very enjoyable watch. Next Generation. So if you can get past like the first half of the first season, which is just awful, really bad. There's a lot of really bad episodes there, but you get past that initial ramp up, it becomes very good. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's really well done. A lot of the stories hold up very well even today. It's definitely worth your time to go back and watch. Deep Space Nine, fantastic TV show. From beginning to end, there is almost no bad episodes of Deep Space Nine. You have to watch it beginning to end, though. You have to watch every episode. It is worth the investment. And it's not quite superior. And I'm actually going to give it an A just because of one other series that I'm going to talk about here in a second. Um, but it is, I think, as far as the TV series go, it's the best of the Star Trek TV series. I like it better than Next Generation. I like it better than the original series. I like it better than pretty much anything as far as the Star Trek TV series go. Enterprise, yeah, it's all right. Um, it has its moments. There's a lot of bad parts to it too. So yeah, I give it a B. I think it's it's got its moments, but give it or take. Especially like the last season, Enterprise really takes off. It really does well. There's a lot of great stuff to it. Voyager is another very solid TV series. I like it. The cast is great. It's one of those that just runs the whole gamut because some of the episodes are fantastic and some of the episodes are just awful. And there's really uh, overall it's a great show, but there's some stuff that brings it down, and so I give it a B. Um, let's see here, Prodigy. Uh, if you haven't watched Prodigy, it's enjoyable. It's really good as far as those go. I give it a B. It is targeted a little bit more at kids, but you get a lot out of it as an adult watching as well. So you'd enjoy it if you like Star Trek. Lower Decks is just absolutely fantastic. It's every episode I think is just really well done. It's great acting, great stories. It's just well written, well carried out. It's just a lot of fun. Definitely gonna miss that now that it's on its way out, and it's had its final episode. Um, and it's really too bad because it was fantastic. So it's a sign of what Paramount could have done. And, unfortunately, just ruined with their mismanagement of the franchise. Picard. This is just absolutely awful end to end. It's not worth your time. It is even, season three, you get a little bit of a buzz from nostalgia, purely nostalgia. Um, but the whole series is just bad end to end. Bad writing, bad dialogue, bad acting, bad directing. Just everything about it is just horrible. Um, Strange New Worlds. Uh, this is an absolutely fantastic series. That's again, it's a sign of what Star Trek can be when it's put into the right hands, when it's well written, well carried out, well executed, and when Paramount just leaves it alone, lets people do what they're supposed to do. Um, just Paramount, the Paramount Plus subscription that you have to have to in order to watch Strange New Worlds, it's definitely worth it for that alone. So what I would do is just subscribe for a month or two every year and watch the new episodes of Strange New Worlds, and then you can cancel your subscription. Pretty much what I do. Um, okay. And then two other series that I want to talk about that are not technically Star Trek, but they're more Star Trek than most of the Star Trek series that are out there. One is the Orville on Hulu. It's just it's a lot of fun, well written, well carried out. It's one of the best TV series that's been around in recent years as far as the Star Trek theme, the Star Trek feeling to it. It's definitely worth your time if you've got a Hulu subscription. Go out and watch the Orville. It's may or may not have another season. They keep talking about it, and then it kind of goes away again. But what they've got out there so far has been really, really fantastic. A lot of fun to watch. And then the last one, Babylon 5. So this was done at the same time as Deep Space Nine. They both came out, in the 90s. It was by far, and it is to this day, it is the best science fiction TV show ever created. And it is very much in the feeling of what Star Trek's meant to be. It's super well done. It is the best acting, the best scripts, the best storylines, just beginning to end. Fifth season, you can kind of take it or leave it. It's really not that important. There are some highlights of the fifth season that are worth watching, but seasons 1 through 4 of Babylon 5, you could watch that over and over and over again and never get tired of it. It is, like I said, is by far the best science fiction TV series ever created, and is very much in the feeling of Star Trek and what Star Trek should be and what Star Trek was meant to be. Um, and uh, so, that's kind of my rankings of the Star Trek franchise. Like I said, there are other things out there that have the Star Trek name on it, but they're absolute crap and they're not worth your time. And I don't consider them to be Star Trek because they're not. They're just horrible. I mean, the J.J. Abrams movies are just terrible. Discovery is just awful. The only reason that I even included Picard was because of the little bit of buzz of nostalgia that you get from the Next Generation cast getting back together again. That is the only reason that's even on this list as an F. Uh, Discovery, the J.J. Abrams movies, they would be like, whatever you could come up with that's below an F as far as rankings go. They're not even worth the time putting on here. So that's my opinion, and just having a little fun today. So thank you for your time. Have a good day.